Sawadika!
Hey,
cheers! Hey everyone!
Welcome to another episode of Ticket to Anywhere podcast. I'm Trizzy.
And I am Leah.
If you haven't noticed, we're decked out in these beautiful sarongs. Our topic today is Thailand. I just got back. This has officially been a week since I've been back. If you guys haven't, been able to tell my new vacation glow going on.
Yeah, she's a little bit darker than usual. So had to give it to her.
Thank you.
And actually, sarongs are one of my favorite things to bring on any trip because, as my good friend Kate said, you can literally use them as a headscarf, a neck scarf, a pillow, a towel, something to sleep on, something to wrap yourself with, like cover your shoulders or cover your ankles if you need to. It's so incredibly multi-use and it's super thin and super light. So one of my best travel tips is bring a sarong with you everywhere you go.
Very useful. We are very excited, especially me. I'm still on that vacation high.
Oh yeah.
Leah has done it a different way than I have, and we've been to similar places in Thailand and different places in Thailand. So hopefully we could, map out everything for you guys. And
it's going to be two really cool points of view today. Tracy going with two people and myself going by myself. And we're going to go through budget, itinerary, accommodation, the differences between the South and the North. Well, we can jump into budget.
Yeah,
first.
Let's do that.
All right.
Jump into budget. So what we spent when we got to Thailand, this excludes like the flight going in there and the hotels. So we brought $550 cash. So convert that turns into about $16,500.
Okay.
And we used it all up. And on the credit card, because we did take some grabs, we took grabs in Chiang Mai, Bangkok, and Koh Samui.
Mm-hmm.
And that brought our total to about $600. So like an additional $50 in cash. Well, we paid on our credit card. So brought our total to $600 for 9 days for the two of us. Okay. So if you split that up, that's just $300 per person on land.
Do you remember what your total was, including flights and whatnot?
Yes, it was about $1,200 total with the $600 that I just mentioned and flights and all the several hotels that we stayed at.
Mm-hmm. So that's about $133 for two people a day.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad because that means it's about can't do
I know.
65 per person per day.
Yeah.
US.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. And keep in mind that we took one way to Chiang Mai. Because after Thailand, we went to the Philippines. So,
which is a whole different episode.
So one-way ticket and then several hotels.
I told her she just shouldn't have come back from Asia. Just
bad mistake.
Stayed in Asia.
We could have done our podcast via FaceTime.
Oh, yeah. That would have been great.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so for 9 days, not bad at all. Mm-hmm. So myself as a solo traveler went a little under 3 weeks. So I was there 17 days.
Okay.
17 days. I spent $1,952. So $1,952 US. And keep in mind, I am very much a budget traveler. I'm a backpacker, eating street food, staying in hostels for many different reasons, to meet people, to save money. So a little under 3 weeks for a little under 2,000 US. That breaks down to, that includes flights and all transportation and whatnot. So it's about 114 per day.
Okay.
Just for myself, but I don't think flight should be included in that.
No. People are more worried about like when they hit the ground running in Thailand. And it's also something to think about, like how much cash you want to bring.
So the way I travel, obviously no affiliation with them whatsoever, but I think the best debit card for any American traveling is the Charles Schwab debit card. It's a completely digital online banking. So you just have to have a social security number to sign up for an account, but no transaction fees, no foreign transaction fees, all your ATM fees get refunded back to you at the end of the month. So that's what I use to pull cash out. So when I go to a new country, I actually don't exchange at the US banks here because I feel that it's pretty expensive and it takes a while. Some banks are like, yeah, that's going to take 2 weeks. I'm not exchanging my money 2 weeks in advance.
Right.
So what I do is, second I land in the airport, I go to the first ATM and I pull currency out in the country's currency that it's in because you get a better exchange rate. Don't ever pull out in USD. Pull it out in the local currency.
Yeah.
So I landed in Thailand and pulled out immediately like 250 US, but in baht.
Oh.
So
is it that debit card that specifically gives you a better rate versus like if I had like my own Bank of America or Chase debit card?
No, not necessarily
like
that. Yeah, they're all the same. It's just you always want to pull out in the local currency versus like US dollars.
Totally.
But it's just great because there's no transaction fees.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no transaction fees and no your ATM fees get rebated. Whether it's that local bank's going to charge you and then they're going to charge you like several fees, Schwab gives all of that back.
Cool.
And I think a lot of other travelers, like long-term travelers can attest to be like, oh, Schwab is the best. But it is only available for Americans who have a social security number.
So do you have to have good credit or anything to sign it up? Or just have a social security number and just...
Yep. You don't even need to put anything in the account to start it.
Oh.
Yep. It's great. Cool. They clearly don't make their money off of individual accounts. They probably, they're loaning businesses money and whatnot. That's where they get their funds from. But yeah, cool. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
So
dope.
Yeah, that's budgeting, which I was pretty proud of myself for staying under $2,000 for 3 weeks. Yeah,
go
absolutely.
That includes all the drinking, all the partying, ticket fees.
It does. So I just did a quick calculation. Actually, if you were to take out most of the transportation for 3 weeks, I spent about $74 a day.
Nice.
If you took out the transportation. So on food, accommodation, and like doing fun things like going to see the elephants, going on waterfall hikes.
Yeah.
And my activities and entertainment during the day.
Nice.
So that's not too bad. Mm-hmm. Too bad.
You gave yourself a massage?
Yes.
Get it.
A massage in Chiang Mai is like $8 for an hour.
I think
it's fantastic.
We got it for like, not that it's much of a difference, but like $6.
Really? Where were you going? You need to share this with the people.
No, I will. And they were great too. We went back for a foot massage the next day. So
okay.
It was like 200 baht. And then we tipped them like 100 total.
Okay. Hot tip. I had someone tell me about this in Chiang Mai while I was there. Mm-hmm. And I told Triz about it, but I didn't get to go to it myself. Apparently, there is a massage shop that employs women who are incarcerated. And so it's giving them an opportunity to work after they got out of jail or prison. Yeah. And I think there were fair pricing. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go there, but people were saying definitely check it out. And, it's helping others out by giving them the opportunity to work.
Sure.
So if you're in Chiang Mai, check it out. Yeah. And a massage shop that employs women who were previously incarcerated.
I think when we were on a Songtiu going to like Doi Suthep, we were at Light, and then we saw like a place that was like ex-con massage or something like that. So it could have been probably it. But if not, there are probably multiple places. So do your research if you're interested, and go and check them out.
It's a small way to give back and support while you're traveling.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, my time there was pretty packed and pretty quick, so I just really walked into the first massage shop near the hostel.
Nice. I would say for all you first-time travelers, Thailand is a great country to go visit.
Yep.
Yeah. It's cheap, has tons of like things you can learn like in their culture. And I think it's a humbling experience in general, just because it's it's a third world country, and they work with what they have, and what they have is amazing.
Yeah. As far as solo travel, definitely Thailand is always, you listen to any podcast or read any blog and they'll say Thailand's the easiest to travel solo. And for your first country backpacking, Thailand is known as the land of smiles, or the land of 1,000 smiles. It's literally known as that because everyone is always very, very happy.
Yes.
They are a developing country, so they have less than us, but they're always willing to give more and make you feel comfortable. And they welcome tourists because tourism fuels a lot of their economy. So when you're a backpacker, there's a massive backpacker slash solo travel trail that you can find people. So if you really want to like be around people and feel a bit safer, just follow all the tourists, truthfully. Like I said, Bangkok's the backpacking capital of the world. There's more hostels there, I think, than anywhere else, any other major city on the planet. And everywhere you go, easy to find accommodation, range of prices. Food is easy to eat. Please look outside of Pad Thai. Please know that Thai food is not only Pad Thai. That is something I encountered a lot in Thailand, that a lot of people from a certain culture, I'm not going to name which culture, but they would assume that Thai food is all just Pad Thai. I'm like, oh, did you not see the other 20 pages on the menu?
Right.
And
if you want to try Pad Thai, do the Pad Thai omelet. Put a little spin into it.
Yeah, wait, I've never even heard of that.
Yes, we had that in one of the night markets in Chiang Mai.
Ooh, that sounds great.
It was good. 50 baht.
It's a little under $2. But there's a variety of things to do. You can go hiking, you can learn to ride a motorbike, you can go on the river, go on the beaches, like big cities, all kinds of things there. So definitely great for if you're a first-time traveler, first-time traveling alone.
Seriously. And after doing all those things, and if you're tired from sightseeing and just being a tourist, get a massage for like $6 to $8, and their massage will get the kinks out of your neck and shoulders. Like, it's amazing. So you were 3 weeks. Mine was 9 days. So mine was very jam-packed. Did you feel that yours was jam-packed as well? Did you have time to relax, or?
I did have time to relax. I even had time to change my plans, which is nuts. I was going to go to one city, and then I got diverted by a guy and I followed him to another city, and we traveled together for a bit, which happens quite often, I guess, in the slow traveler and sometimes backpacker culture. So 3 weeks is never enough for me to be gone, which is funny because everyone will say, wow, 3 weeks is a crazy long time. But I did feel like for my first time in Thailand and my first time in Southeast Asia, and I'm Asian, I've never been to Southeast Asia, I felt that 3 weeks was a great amount of time to like break me in. So essentially I went to Thailand when I was living in Melbourne, Australia, and I did 3 weeks in Thailand on my way back to Los Angeles for the Christmas break.
Smart.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
Let me turn this to Thailand.
How did you feel about your 9 days there?
I honestly felt like we did a great job of attending all the places that we wanted to go to and making sure that we have time for ourselves as far as like relaxing, enjoy the beach, just doing weird things. Like we went to a corgi cafe.
Oh,
I saw that. Cafe. That was like one of the main reasons why we were like, all right, let's go to Bangkok.
Oh, that was in Bangkok.
That was in Bangkok.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a bit outskirts of the city. But it is so worth it. If you guys love dogs, puppies, and especially corgis, you gotta go.
So cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. I know. But yeah, we did a great job. We landed in Chiang Mai first, and then we landed like in the evening, 5 p.m. Had dinner, got a massage, and then slept because the next day we were heading up to Chiang Rai, which is about 3-hour drive. So we hired a private driver, Mr. J. Look him up. I will link him because he is a great driver. And he's on time. He's great at responding too. And the night before, I totally forgot to confirm with him, like, hey, just want to make sure that you're picking us up at 5 a.m. And yeah, totally forgot to send that text to him, but he showed up 5 a.m.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And how did you find him, and how much did he cost?
We were doing research on TripAdvisor, and Mr. J just popped up. He is fairly new on the review game, so he was like a little worried that nobody would find him, but like he's pretty, well rated on TripAdvisor. So we hit him up on Facebook just to get a quote. And we're like, oh, okay, he's like fair price versus all the other prices that we saw on TripAdvisor. And he was 3,200 baht for 10-hour a day. And we went a little over because there was like traffic coming back. Because there was constructions on the way there, and so he didn't charge us extra, so we just gave him like a good $200 baht tip on top of that. So 3,400 total, but 3,200 flat, and that includes
107
gas.
US.
Yeah, 107 US, and that includes gas too, because a lot of drivers will quote you for a little bit lower, and they'll be like, "Oh, and doesn't include gas." Yeah, so you'll have to pay gas on top of that.
That's great.
But he was just like all in 3,200 baht.
That's amazing. 10 hours. Probably could stop as many times as you wanted, right?
And it's funny because he made more stops himself. He was just like, oh, do you guys mind if I stop here? But he took us to like hot springs. Like places where it made sense to stop at,
Yeah. Where there was a view or something to do.
Exactly.
Okay. And did you ask, I love asking this question because people will ask me this about Spanish or for, in your case, Cantonese sometimes.
Yeah.
But did you ask him where he learned English?
He did mention that he lived in Bellflower, California for a while. Went to high school here.
LA? Whoa, okay.
SoCal.
So he went to basically a local if he, you know, spent some of his formative years here.
So he spent like, high school years here. His English was great. He understood perfectly. He knew how to interpret everything, explain what these temples meant. And yeah, he's a good guide.
That's awesome.
A good driver, a good guide.
That's so great to hear. So that's great. A big difference between Triz heading up with one other person to Chiang Mai for a day trip was that I stayed in Chiang Mai at a hostel called Brick House. Actually, one of my favorite hostels in the world. So if you're in Chiang Mai, I encourage you to check it out. And they have an excellent concierge desk there. It's a massive hostel. It's like 6 floors, 2 different Wi-Fi networks for each floor, including one separate for the restaurant, one separate for the pool, one separate for the lobby. That's how big this hostel is.
Damn.
And so they had to have separate Wi-Fi networks.
So would you say it's more on the higher end of hostels?
Honestly, I felt like I didn't pay more than $11 a night for it, and that was in a 6-person dorm. So not higher end, but I think in Thailand, like you can still charge $11 a night per hostel per person and give a lot of these great amenities.
Yeah.
So they have a great concierge desk there. Literally, we got to Chiang Mai and just talked to the concierge desk for 30 minutes and planned all of our day trips out through them.
Cool.
So we did a Chiang Mai trip that was a day trip, and we stopped at 2 places along the way. And it was like one of those, like a Mercedes-Benz, like Sprinter van type where they host 12 or 14 people in the van and they take them on this trip. So my friend Kate and I did that, and I would say it wasn't more than 50 US for that trip.
Okay.
And that included, obviously gas, just getting there, and the sites. Didn't include any food or drink we wanted to buy separately, but just to see the White Temple.
Yeah.
I will say Triz probably did it better as she got there a bit earlier. Because of our timing and because we were essentially part of a tour, we got to the White Temple in Chiang Rai at noon, high time. Tons of tourists there. It felt pretty miserable when I was there. I think sitting for 3 hours was just not good for me. And I was tired, probably hungover from the night before, but I was tired. And when I got there was just so many people. Couldn't take a cool photo without hordes of people in it. Oh, and when I was there, this lady on the intercom screaming in Thai, I'm not even kidding, for 20 minutes. And it just rattled my brain, made me miserable. And we literally went to the tour guide and we're like, what in the world? Literally, what the hell is she screaming about? And our tour guide was literally like, honestly, she's telling people like to take off their shoes or put their backpacks away. And so my experience in Chiang Mai at the White Temple was honestly like I hated it.
Was a hangover experience.
Yeah, it was. I disliked it so much. But yeah, for my like little tour group, it wasn't more than $50. I did mention that. Or I did want to mention that lunch was included in it. So we went to like a restaurant right across the road and had lunch, just the 12 of us. But yeah, if you're in any hostel or hotel, just go to the front desk and they honestly are tour guides themselves. Yeah. They'll know a lot. And we were just lucky enough that Brick House literally had its own concierge section and you could sit with them and plan your few days there, which was fantastic.
And you might have mentioned this before, but did that $50 also include the entrance fee to the White Temple?
Yes, it did.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It included, so there and back, entrance fee and lunch. And I think maybe a water bottle or two.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little overpriced, but I think my original plans were actually to go, like I mentioned earlier, to go to Chiang Mai, spend a few nights, and then I got diverted. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to do like a tour in Chiang Mai for the day just to kind of check it off the list.
And you mentioned that getting there earlier was better. And we got there around maybe 8:30, 8:45.
Yeah.
And they opened at 8.
Ugh.
However, we thought it was still very busy.
Really?
Yeah. So
people lining up at like 7 a.m. or something? What
probably.
Is this, the DMV?
It's a popular, destination, and it's worth going to. It's beautiful. They have gold restrooms.
Yeah, they did.
It's a gold palace restroom.
Sitting on her throne.
I'm sitting on my throne, taking my time there.
Oh,
it was crazy.
Man.
Honestly, I think the earlier is still better because...
I mean, for any tourist attraction.
Yeah, for any tourist attractions.
Get up.
Although it might have been busy for me, just imagine it at noon.
Yeah.
It could be even 10 times worse or something.
Right. Yeah. Sidebar, Triz brought back some Thai tea from Thailand, so that is what we're drinking today, and it's delicious, and I'm going to need a refill soon. So.
Right? Yeah. Maybe I should drink some.
Amazing. So for you, it was like Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai. What was next?
So after the White Temple, Blue Temple, Long Neck Karen, Hot Springs, that's all in like the Chiang Rai day.
Right. Blue Temple, sidebar also. Blue Temple is like our favorite.
Yes. Beautiful.
Go to Blue Temple. I mean, Blue Temple for our tour was included on the way back. And I told her about this, but there's this delicious hibiscus blue rice ice cream dessert at like a cart right outside the Blue Temple. It's super cheap, maybe like 50 cents. And you just gotta go and grub and get it.
I was just reimagining the taste and everything.
It's so delicious. Makes really for good gram pictures also.
Yeah. So yeah, after all that, the second full day we were there. We stayed within Chiang Mai, but we did Doi Suthep, which was about an hour from where we stayed at. And how we got there was we went outside of the wall, the old city wall. There was a section out there that has a bunch of song queues. So you go there, you kind of just bargain with them, or if you want your own private one, which is what we did going there. And it ended up to be about 300 baht total for a private. And it was a 45-minute drive to an hour. So pretty worth it for us just to have like a song queue for ourselves.
Yeah.
But on the way back down, it was 120 baht total for 2 people, so 60 baht per person.
Oh, wow.
For a shared song queue going back to the city.
That's so good.
With like maybe like 1 or 2 stops that I could remember because they drop people off as well.
1 or 2 stops within an hour, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
From what we've read on TripAdvisor, we thought we could get a private song queue for 500 baht round trip. That's what we read.
Okay.
That's not the case. They're like, whoa, you're trying to hustle us.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, this is what we thought we could get it for. But you have to think like people got to eat there as well.
Yep. Yep.
And it's cheap for us, but we don't want to be hustled as well.
Right. You don't want to be taken advantage of.
Exactly. So there was one guy who was saying like, no, $1,000 round trip for the two of you guys, private. We were like,
taking notes.
No. So we left. We were crossing the street, about to go back to our hotel and be like, we'll take your offer instead, which they offered us 900 baht total for two people, taxi.
Okay.
And somebody chased us who had his own song too, and was just like 150 per person, one way, private song too. We were like, wow, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The key is to always walk away. Be like, oh, my friend down the road is offering it me. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. Asia, South America, Central America. Yeah. Oh, my friend is offering me this. Why don't you offer me that? We can get into it later, but I am like the queen of haggling. I love it. It gives me life. It just runs through my veins. I'm like, yes.
I'm terrible at it.
I've had friends walk away from me while I'm haggling because they're embarrassed. But guess what? I got them the price they wanted.
You're good.
So, no fear.
Nice.
Can't stand down. Okay, girl. So you did how many days in the north?
4 nights, 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the last day we did the elephant jungle. Elephant sanctuary.
Oh, do you remember the name of yours?
It was the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary.
Jungles, okay.
So I had those words in. Just got to combine them all. They picked us up in a songtu. You get to feed the elephants and bathe with the elephants in their poo-poo water. And they rescue the elephants that has been in the entertainment industry and, you know, care for them. And you could hear it in like the guide's voice, like how much they really want to not abuse the elephants in what you see in the other elephant activities when it's like you get to sit on them, like, or see them paint or watch them play soccer.
So how much did your elephant sanctuary excursion cost?
3,400 baht total for two people.
Okay.
And that came out to be about 113, so about $60.
Yep.
Per person. Includes round trip, songtu, and lunch and some beverages. And a lot of fun with the elephants. I want to say it was probably one of my highlights. Because they're just so cute, especially when you're bathing them. You're touching them. They want more mud on them because that's how they clean. And you could just tell their faces when you touch them. They're like, I
don't know why, but when I was bathing them, I had this like irrational fear of like Jurassic Park and then like
where they're
stomping. Yeah. And so I think I like had my fun with them and then pulled back after like a few minutes. So I was like, this is so cute. Like just get the pics.
How deep in the mud did you get? Did you get super dirty?
No, because I honestly, this sounds so like a princess, but I didn't want to. I basically went like just knee height. I didn't want to get my anything upper and then the dress wet, nothing. Oh, and it's hilarious because I'm the only one that fell for this on the tour. Mm-hmm. But they gave us like this red threaded dress.
Oh yeah.
And the guide told us that elephants can't see, so they need red dresses to be bright so they could notice you. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I went around telling everyone that because I was like, you guys, that's why we're wearing red dresses, because the elephants can't see and they need a brightly colored dress to look at. And then I was like, wait, is this real? But I believed it, so I kept telling everyone anyway.
You know what? I was like a princess too, because I got into the mud water and they were like, more dirty, more fun. So I grabbed like a piece of mud and I put it here and I was like, mud bath. No.
Hey, I'm surprised they didn't take some mud and just slap it on you.
Yeah, I know. And then when I got out of the mud water, my guide was like, you're too clean. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Like mud exfoliation. Oh, I got eaten alive. Actually, it's giving me chills right now. Oh, it's like making my ears hurt for some reason. Thinking about how much I got eaten alive by mosquitoes when I was there. I got eaten alive. And these mosquitoes were different because my bite started bleeding right away. Yeah. So these were different mosquitoes. They weren't, I know, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Oh my gosh, you poor thing.
So I have massive allergies to mosquito bites, and my skin gets red, nasty welts. But these were different, and the only other time I experienced these type of mosquito bites was I was literally high up in the jungles of Medellin, Colombia. And the second this type of mosquito would bite me, it start bleeding.
That's crazy.
It was so bad. And I didn't bring, I was in shorts. I didn't bring any protection. I didn't have any, DEET, repellent, nothing on me. So I was just, my legs were just bleeding all day. The elephant sanctuary was the last thing that we did for the day, though. So we're on the way home, which was nice. Gosh. But it was so bad. There was nothing I could do. I had no cover-up. I had no pants, nothing. But it's so bad. To bleed. Yeah. These mosquitoes are a different beast. Wow. I don't know. They're probably deep jungle or something, but it's bad. It's bad. Anyways, I could go on and on. Yeah. I have remedies for my bites, by the way, preventative measures, and we'll probably get into that in another podcast.
That'll definitely be another topic, because I brought my trusty bug repellent bracelets. Came out of Thailand, Hong Kong, Philippines, Taiwan with one mosquito bite.
I need to get those. Yeah, that's so good.
I'll show you.
Yeah,
and I'll show it here.
Yeah. Okay, so all that time in the north, 4 days or 4 nights, 5 days, you said in the north.
Yeah, but you know what? One thing that we didn't talk about that I really want to dive into is the suggestion of Asia Scenic. They are an amazing cooking class.
I think they're actually one of the top rated, not only in Thailand, in Southeast Asia. Top rated cooking schools in Southeast Asia.
They're amazing. Our chef instructor, Kat, you are great. You are so funny, very entertaining.
Kate and I, with a bunch of people from the hostel, did a 5-hour, which is a half day, cooking class for about $25 US. That's nothing. You go to Sur La Table here, and it's $80 for a few hours. But $25 for a half day includes transportation, and it was 5 courses, which is delicious. And they also take you to the market, and they have a garden there where they describe all the herbs and whatnot, and they take you through the market to tell you what spices to use. And then they give you the cookbook afterwards, and obviously you eat everything you make, and it was just fantastic. Highly recommend going to them. We're not affiliated with them whatsoever.
I know, but it's fascinating how quick I was able to cook and make things. When I'm here, it takes about 5 hours for one dish for me here. And I'm how did I just make 5 dishes in 5 hours there?
It's nuts. Yeah. It is nuts.
Yeah. High heat, guys. High heat.
You cook with passion at Asia Scenic. It's funny the way the methods they teach you there, and you'll see if you go, the methods they teach you there are very similar to my parents and maybe your parents too. But whenever I ask, you basically flavor things on how you feel. Do you want it spicier? Do you want more flavor? Yeah, put that amount in, and don't stop until you think you want to stop. There's no measurements. Yeah, there really isn't, and that's how it's funny. Sidebar: when my mom, I'm like, Mom, how do I cook this? And she'll come over to the stove and be like, oh, you just add this, and she doesn't tell me numbers, measurements, nothing. She doesn't tell me any of that. She's like, oh, you just put this in this, and I'm like, but what is how am I gonna remember this?
What's that?
You just this amount. I'm like, what is this amount? So but yeah, you cook with love and passion at Asia Scenic. So it's great.
I loved it. It was so thank you again for that recommendation.
Telling everyone to go.
Go. But the sad thing was that keep in mind this part too. If you want to make mango sticky rice, they have certain days. And we weren't on that day that they made it. We were so sad.
Which is so interesting. We just signed up for a random day, and we got it.
We got it, yeah. So Leah will be teaching me how to make mango sticky rice.
So down to the south.
Yeah. Now we're flying, and we're flying. We took Bangkok Airways from Chiang Mai to Koh Samui, and there was a layover in Bangkok. Came out to be about $386. For 2 people.
U.S.?
U.S.
Well, that sounds kind of pricey.
It might have been pricey.
Why? You didn't buy it last minute, did you?
Maybe a month in advance or something.
That's almost $200.
It was pretty pricey.
From Chiang Mai to Koh Samui?
Yeah.
Huh. That's so interesting.
In Bangkok.
That's so interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And it was Bangkok Airways, which is an amazing airlines, by the way, because these flights were only like an hour, but they fed you like a full-on meal that you would get on like EVA Airlines on an international flight or something. I'm like, damn, I can't even take a nap because I want to eat this food.
I would say I was impressed because I was traveling with my friend Kate for the 3 weeks, or for about 2 weeks. And her and I agreed that I think Bangkok Airways was one of the best domestic airlines you can ever take in any country. But just the comfort and cleanliness and the efficiency of the flight, the pricing, I thought was great. I thought it was a great airline. So highly recommend Bangkok Airways when you're in Thailand if you're doing domestic flights for sure.
Yeah. And if you think it's expensive, it's probably worth it.
Yeah, it's probably worth it for sure.
Very worth it. So we went to Koh Samui. We spent one night there. Very different than Chiang Mai, I would want to say, in price-wise. They're definitely more on the American side. Whereas,
pricing.
So from Chiang Mai to our hotel, we took a Grab, which is like Uber in Southeast Asia. And it was, 10, 15 minutes total, maybe $5. In Koh Samui, our hotel was by Mae Nam Beach. So from the airport to our hotel was about maybe 20 minutes. And the cost of it was like $15 already.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then we did a lot because we were on the Mae Nam side. And the temples that we wanted to see, or the Buddhas that we wanted to see, was on the other side by the airport. So we always had to like take a Grab back out there. So it was like $15 going that way as well.
Well, I felt even on Koh Tao there were some just like pad thai, pad see plates that were like $5-6. Yeah, which is like triple the price. Right. Which does nothing here in the U.S. Yeah. But for Thailand, that's extortion. That is. And that's if you're going along, the super touristy restaurants, going into high tourist traffic restaurants and not even looking around to compare. You're just like, oh, this is a place that has Thai food. Let's eat here. Okay. Right. Have fun paying $6 for your pad thai.
Yeah. I would give them credit for always having their menus outside of their restaurants for you to view. But once you view, person just comes shooting up and is just like, oh, you want to eat here? Look at our pad thai. It's really nice. Our pad thai. And we're just like, oh, okay. They kind of just suck us in, and we're like, oh, we're stuck with this $5 pad see or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like we said, nothing here, but if you compare it in context to everywhere else. Okay, so Koh Samui.
And then we spent one night there. And it was raining, so we saw the muddy water, and the next morning the sun was out, so we did see a blue water side of Koh Samui, but we left early in the morning to head to Koh Tao. Beautiful island, Koh Tao. It's very that's where we got to really relax.
That's good.
Not much to see there. It is a very relaxing beach. We spent 2 nights there. And the second day, we went to a small island, which was about 15-minute boat ride, and we took a long-tail boat. That island was called Koh Nang Yuan Island.
Oh, nice.
They have a viewpoint where everybody goes to. You hike it up, 10, 15-minute easy hike. The path is part of the pier of a rock island.
Very cool.
So you go around there, and then you go up into the jungle, which is just cement stairs, and then you climb some rocks, and then you see the view of the sandbar connecting 2 parts of the island. And it's oh my gosh, it's breathtaking.
Oh
yeah, go there early. Definitely go there early. We got there super early when the island opened at 10 o'clock, I believe.
Oh my gosh, the island opens at 10? That's kind of late.
Because once you get off the boat, there's a pier. The only pier that it lands on. So it's not like you could try and sneak around it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a admissions area too. So when you walk down the pier, you can't even go in because somebody's going to stop you.
So Thailand Mafia collecting their fees.
So you pay, and then you get to enter, and then you go up to the viewpoint. And the cost for that, $100 baht per person.
Which is about a little over $3 US. Love it. I'll have to get back there next time.
Yeah, definitely. And then we went back down, chilled on the sandbar, and just relaxed. And you can snorkel there. There's a lot of fishies who aren't scared of you. Yeah. And the water is shallow, so you could like feel like you're really in the ocean.
So after Koh Tao?
After Koh Tao, we went to Bangkok. So we had to take the ferry back to Koh Samui. And from Koh Samui, we flew into Bangkok. We got to Bangkok like afternoon. We did Wat Pho, which is the reclining Buddha. And then after that, we were roaming around, and the area that we were at seemed more on the quieter side of Bangkok because it was around 8 p.m. and we were looking for food and we couldn't find any food. Everything was like shutting down, and we were like, oh,
not even like street food.
Yeah,
girl, you should have gone to Chinatown.
We should have. I was
surprised. I'm like, there's a Chinatown?
We were kind of running out of money at that time. And we were like, we don't want to.
And they still had the rest of their trip to go through.
Exactly. So everything was planned. Like, we had to save money for the Philippines and Taiwan.
So for this particular trip, this Southeast Asia, did you budget per country or per day?
We budgeted per country.
Per country. That's good. That's really good.
We did that.
Well, yeah, because when you're in Taiwan and Hong Kong, way different budget.
Exactly.
Right? Even though Hong Kong was just a layover.
Yeah. We should have just used Grab, but at that time we didn't even think of it. So we just ended up eating at our hostel. So we stayed at our hostel.
What did you think of it?
We loved it. I think it was great. Yeah.
Cool.
We were walking up to the bar or to the restaurant, and I noticed that on floors 4 there was an area where people have to put their shoes away.
I love that.
And then I was like, oh, what's this? It's the hostel part of the hostel.
Oh.
Yeah. But everything seemed very clean. So if you were thinking about staying at the printing house hostel, do it. And the staff was very helpful and clean, very modern.
How much was it per night for your hotel room?
We had it for $57.73 per night USD.
For 2 people in the room?
For 2 people in the room.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's super great. It's like a boutique hotel mixed with a hostel.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool, and we'll link it.
So the first night we just kind of chilled because it was really hot in Bangkok. Beaming, humidity, and heat at the same time. Very, very like hot.
Yeah.
Sweaty. Yeah. Sticky. So we tried to like wait to go to, the reclining Buddha a little later in the evening. So we got to our hotel, kind of just chilled there a little bit. And then, that's in the evening time. Oh, and we caught the sunset across the river of the Chao Phraya River, where you could see Wat Arun, which is another temple. And it's supposedly it's a must-do and a must-see. And you'll find areas around like restaurants. You don't even have to eat at the restaurants. There's like places where you could just stand and you could see the sunset along the river.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, you don't have to be anywhere.
And then the second day, which was our last day, we didn't spend that night there. We had a later flight in the day going to the Philippines. We took a Grab, 30 minutes, to see corgis. It was a corgi
30 minutes?
Yeah,
it was way outside. Yeah. Was it even in Bangkok?
No, well, the address was still very outskirts.
Like on the outskirts, yeah.
Yeah, and then such a highlight. We have a lot of animals on this trip that I was just like super into.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
what is it called?
It's called Corgi in the Garden.
Oh my gosh, that is
Corgi in the Garden.
Cute.
There's like 12 cute little corgis, or maybe even more. You enter and they have an entrance fee, which includes a drink. And the drinks were great too. Like we had a hoji cha milk tea and matcha milk tea as well. Corgi Cafe was $3.50 per person, which includes a drink. And if you want like the cake with it, it was like $4.50. And of course they have their cute merch too, like a shirt with the corgi butt here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. You could order separate things though, right?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a la carte like that.
Oh, you can't? It's just whatever they give you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Well, they have like several options on the drink menu, and they have several options for like cake and dessert.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then it's 100 baht if you want to get a corgi food for them to feed. And of course you want them to come to you, so you're going to spend that 100 baht to get them.
Just corgi dog food, right?
Corgi food. Yeah, and the staff, they were very caring. You could tell because the corgis just find so much comfort in them. They'll just, go to us strangers and just get food. Mm-hmm. But they'll run to like the staff and kind of just like cuddle them when they're tired, and it's like very cute. Mm-hmm. It's worth it if you're a dog person. Oh yeah, it was a long ways to go, but then I was like, I need my corgi. Yeah. I need my corgi. And then after that, we took a Grab back to around Bangkok on the other side of the Chao Phraya River, which is a mall called Icon Siam. Were you there? Did you attend? It was so nice.
A mall?
Yes. It was I say it's called a mall, but it's more of an experience because you enter and there's like a floating market inside.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like, like think of street food, street vendors, but inside a mall. Okay. But an extravagant mall. But the prices were fine too. We had a pad thai and a sticky mango rice. 50 baht each. There's like a other side of the mall where it's kind of like South Coast Plaza status, where it's like high name brands and things like that. But we didn't go on that side because the food area itself was huge.
Yeah, and you're like,
there's just tons of options. Yeah, so that's actually where we got these Thai tea powders. Yum. Yeah, and then you go outside. You could catch a free ferry to the other side of Chao Phraya River, which was our plan. So we took the free ferry to Ratchawang Pier, where we got off, took a tuk-tuk back to our hotel, got our stuff, head to the airport.
Awesome.
That was the end of our trip.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, what a jam-packed 9 days in Thailand.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And we'll link my itinerary and Leah's itinerary as well. Let's hear about Leah's 3-week.
Mine is a little bit different from Trizzy's. We went to quite a few of the same places, and my notes are on my phone, you guys. I promise I'm not checking Instagram while we're having conversations here. Yeah. So, like I said, I did 3 weeks in Thailand when I was living in Melbourne, Australia, and I did Thailand as a holiday on the way back home to Los Angeles for Christmas, and this was 2 years ago, so pricing maybe has fluctuated slightly, not too much, as Triz was just there like 2 weeks ago, so hasn't fluctuated too much. So my itinerary, and I'll go through my favorite places, my favorite things about each city. I did 1 night in Bangkok, 5 nights in Koh Phangan, full moon party, if you all don't know about it. Yep. 2 nights in Koh Tao, 4 nights in Chiang Mai, 3 nights in Pai, and then 2 more nights in Bangkok. And the last few days of my trip got rerouted quite a bit, but I can go through that. So we spent 1 night in Bangkok. Actually, I think it was 2 nights in Bangkok, now that I think of it. 2 nights in Bangkok when we first landed. We stayed at Nat Park Hostel, which is actually really cute, really beautiful. It was about $12 a night, and it was right behind Koh San Road, which if you've been to Thailand, you don't know, or if you've been to Bangkok, you don't know about Bangkok. Bangkok actually also is one of the largest backpacker cultures on the planet. Thousands and thousands and thousands of hostels, like so much accommodation, so many different ways to stay for cheap. And there's new hostels being built all the time. Now, Koh San Road is just clubs and bars and restaurants and street food and vendors.
Oh, that's lit.
But it is loud AF though. Like you're walking down the street and the restaurants and bars are trying to compete who can play music louder.
That's so opposite of where
it's so opposite. But weirdly enough, in our Nat Park hostel, literally it was a great place for napping. It was very quiet. It was only a block away, right behind it. Cool. You couldn't hear any noise whatsoever,
nice.
Which is great. But we stayed at Nat Park for 2 nights because we were going to Koh Phangan next, full moon party next for 6 days. We wanted to rage on Koh Phangan, an island in the south next to Koh Samui and Koh Tao, and we purposely stayed at a very quiet hostel where we knew we could get great sleep, and it was nice and clean. It was about $12 per night. So What other main points about Bangkok? I didn't get a SIM card for Thailand at all, which it depends on the kind of trip I'm on. But I was there 3 weeks. It was a short amount of time. I knew the longest I would go without Wi-Fi is when I'm in transit from one city to another.
Yeah.
And I was traveling with someone.
Yeah.
So I figured I didn't really need a SIM card. But honestly, a SIM card in Thailand is probably runs like $2 to $10 max. And I think even $10 for a SIM card is pretty expensive. So, you know, if you feel safer, if you want to have maps with you or things with you, go ahead and invest in one. But also download maps.me because it's the best app ever. It's better than Google Maps offline. So if you could have phone service and data for $10 for 3 weeks in Thailand, which is worth it. Like if that makes you feel safer, then
Can I do that here? So
Yeah.
I don't have to pay $50 a month or $70.
Can I do that?
Gosh.
It is crazy how cheap it is in other countries.
It is.
And we were surprised. So when we went to Wat Pho, we didn't know if we had to cover up. So we quickly put on our Thai elephant pants. I guess there were no rules on that. So we're like, oh, let's just cover up just in case.
Your shoulders already covered? Like
My shoulders, what did I have? Oh, I brought a sarong to cover my shoulders.
There you go.
But if you look at my Instagram, the sarong it didn't go with anything I was wearing. So we took it off for the photos. But I actually don't think they didn't have any really rules on that. We even asked them in the entrance when they were checking our bags and we're paying. We're like, do we need to? They're like, no, that's fine.
Okay.
But what else? While we were there, this was crazy. This was like the end of November, beginning of December 2017. They're actually having a ceremony for their king who had just passed away.
Aww.
And so we went to this grand ceremony that was only happening one day, and we're like, "This is
caught it."
Yeah,
wow.
We went to the ceremony. They were giving out treats. They're giving out booklets,
Yeah.
and they let you. I can't remember the name of it, but I have a ton of beautiful photos. They let you onto the grounds to like explore the temples.
That's really cool.
And I don't think we paid anything for it. You just have to go. Yeah, this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. So we were really lucky. It was basically a ceremony to honor him and his life.
For sure.
So we were very, very lucky to have caught that. That was a big part of their culture. They loved their king.
Yeah.
So, what else? We also we wanted seafood for some reason. I think we were just craving it. And the locals were like, you want seafood? Go to Chinatown. And we get this little tuk-tuk to take us 10 minutes away to Chinatown.
Yeah.
And it's a bit deserted besides this one street. You go, because it was late at night, one street, and it's popping with this one seafood stand. There's probably, for a street food stand, there's probably like 40 people there.
It might be a Howling Rays equivalent. If y'all know about Howling Rays in LA. Okay. And it's in Chinatown here.
Yeah.
Continue.
But the seafood stand, I have the name of it in the photo, but we'll pop it up here. You guys gotta go. And you'll know which one it is because it'll be the one that's super, super packed. And it is incredible. We shared, I think, 3 or 4 dishes together. It was quite pricey because it was pricey for street food.
Gotcha.
Each person, it was maybe like $30.
Each person? Okay.
Yeah. For 3 or 4 dishes.
Gotcha.
$10 a plate. That's like what you're paying here.
I don't know. You're in America.
So yeah. But it's so worth it.
Yeah.
And that was like our big expensive, that was kind of actually our fancy meal of the trip.
Oh.
Yeah, who knew? Street food in Chinatown. But I'll pop up the, yeah. It probably was and we just didn't know it. It was so good.
Yeah.
So good. From Bangkok, we went straight to Koh Samui only to connect to Koh Phangan for full moon party.
Okay.
So we flew down to Koh Samui. That was $135 for myself on the plane, obviously nonstop. We land at the airport, get straight to the port, get straight on a boat to Koh Phangan. So right away, I didn't spend any time on Koh Samui whatsoever. Went straight to Koh Phangan. We stayed at Slumber Party Hostel. Yeah, it's called Slumber Party.
Love the names.
And it's a bit of a chain in Thailand.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're notoriously known, well, not notoriously known, they're known for being party hostels. And we booked way in advance. For about 5 nights, we paid $85 US.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah. So it was pricey, and it was like a 12-person dorm. But because it was full moon, especially during full moon, they don't let you book less than 4 nights. So you have to. Yeah, so we spent an extra day or 2 there, which was good because we got to meet everyone as they came in, and we had some time to chill in the downtime before things got way out of control.
Yeah.
And It was interesting because I guess Slumber Party now in Koh Phangan is in a new location with a pool. And in retrospect, after we left Thailand, I think that little building that we were in, it truthfully wasn't the greatest. There was nothing special about it.
Just a place to sleep or something?
Yeah. Okay. And I think that was an interim building, actually. But no one told us that while we were there.
Gotcha.
We were just like, oh, this is just how it is.
Yeah.
And it was great, obviously, for meeting people. When you're in a hostel and backpacking, everyone's in the same mindset of like, let's meet each other, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The weird thing about it was there was absolutely no seating in the lobby in the hangout area. There was literally beer pong or standing at the bar. So we even brought it up to management. They're like, you guys could throw a couple bean bags around here, like or like one bar stool, nothing. People were sitting on the floors on a pillow. And so, or leaning against their backpacks.
Oh, geez.
So it's kind of odd.
Yeah.
It definitely felt, now looking back here, I'm like, yeah, it definitely felt like an interim place.
Gotcha.
So I think now they're in a brand new physical location. Okay. Greatest part about that interim building was that it was right next to a motorbike rental for super cheap. I didn't rent a motorbike in Koh Phangan. And right across from this little Thai food shack that I literally ordered spring rolls from twice a day, every day. And the greatest part was because it was literally like 50 feet across the road. Not even 50 feet, 20 feet across the road. They would come deliver your food for you. So Kate and I were joking because we'd be hungover and wake up at like 12 or 1. And I'd be like, can someone order me spring rolls from across the street?
You're straight queen.
Yeah, and I was like, can they deliver them to dorm number 1, please, bed number 4? So it was perfect, and the pricing was pretty on par. I think I think it was a little bit pricier. I think for 2 spring rolls, it was maybe like $1.50, I'd say. And for a plate of like pad thai or pad see, it was maybe like $2.50. $2. I know. Well, pricey for Thai standards. If you're buying it on the street from like a different shack that wasn't Koh Phangan, then it would have been like half that price. Gotcha. But yeah, like it wasn't bad. And the fact that they delivered 30 feet across the road, it was fantastic. And full moon partying itself was a crazy, crazy experience. Basically, they celebrate the full moon every month in Thailand. They also do half moon party. And it's really just a drunken mess fest. Like, everyone goes out to the beach and drinks and parties on the beach. All the bars are open. There's music. There's DJs everywhere. And that goes on
for 5 days?
No. Sorry, it's one night.
Okay. I was like,
It's one night. Okay. We got there a few days early, but before and afterwards, like before that was actually the night before was jungle party. Okay. Which, talking to the group of friends we were hanging out with at the hostel, they love jungle party even more. And other friends that have been to Thailand, they're like, actually like jungle party even more. So you go deep into the jungle, and there's everything. There's DJs. It's a whole setup. Cool. There's food vendors, drinks, bars.
Is this something that they do like weekly, or is it because there was a full moon party they had like complimenting?
Yep. They have. Okay. It's kind of like Coachella, and there's like other parties around it.
Right. Yeah.
So and then the night after full moon party is waterfall party. So you go party at this one.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Wow. Like I think anyone you talk to will recommend over the full moon beach party will recommend jungle and waterfall party for sure.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't get as like full moon party, guys. I did it to check it off my party bucket list.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a mess. Yeah. Like, I think 10 years ago it would have been like, woo, this is great. But when I went, I was like, what the heck is this?
Like, I'm the oldest person here, right?
But not even that. It was just like, it's kind of dangerous because people are breaking glass, all kinds of things in the sand. People are walking barefoot in the sand.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
And it's just dirty. Like, people are polluting into the ocean. And God knows what else. I'm sure they're taking a shit out there. Oof. They're peeing out into the ocean. And it's dangerous. Like, some people are so messed up, they'll just walk out into the ocean. Like, yeah, it's not, I don't think it's as, like, glamorous as some people make it out to be. Highly recommend jungle party or waterfall party over it because it's more of good vibes, definitely good music, dancing.
Yeah.
But people just get, like, off, they just, like, get off their face for full moon party.
Wow.
We did have some good grub afterwards, though. Well, the street food was really good. The street food's open all night, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Any spring rolls delivered?
Spring rolls delivered straight to me. I remember the truck to get us all there from the hostel was 100 baht each way, because 100 baht is a bill. Mm-hmm. So it's easy for them. And that they would never waver on that pricing. And
how long was the ride?
Oh, not even 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the hostel was not even 10 minutes from the beach. Cool. Every time we wanted to go down to like the beach or where everything was. But we couldn't negotiate that because there's so much tourism on these islands. Yeah. And like you'll see that the local drivers will be like, no, it's 100. And it's easy to just give them 100 bill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like why break it up?
Yeah, exactly. So after that, we were after like 5-6 nights there, we were just spent. We're like, let's get out of here.
Gosh.
And we left earlier than planned on the last day because pouring rain.
Oh man.
Almost like monsoon status. And I have pics and I have video from it. It was kind of scary to go out in.
Yeah. And
we're like, hey, let's leave now before they close the port because the conditions are too dangerous. Right. So our next stop after Koh Phangan full moon party was Koh Tao. Mm-hmm. And Triz went to Koh Tao as well. Mm-hmm. So we left a few hours earlier. Luckily, we were able to get there safely, get on a ferry.
That's good.
And our ferry costs about, I'd say 400 baht or 460 baht. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To get to Koh Tao. It was a little bit rocky.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit rocky. When we get to Koh Tao, it's honestly, Koh Tao is also nicknamed, FYI, Murder Island.
She warned me, and I was like so scared at first, but
I know. Well, people were scaring me too, but apparently the Thai mafia just runs the island, and they're charging people left and right for etc. And apparently there was some, really sad things that had happened before we got there, but I didn't experience any. I didn't feel unsafe while I was there.
Yeah. And
Koh Tao is also known massively for its diving. When, of course, the waters aren't murky. So I'm not a diver. I'm definitely a snorkeler. Yeah. And I don't think that I will be getting my PADI anytime soon. I don't know. So when we get there, monsoon, flooded. The island's flooded.
Jeez.
It just wasn't pretty. And we were only there a quick 2 days, 2 nights.
Yeah.
And we stayed at Taco Shack number 2. Highly recommend Taco Shack number 2.
Taco Shack.
It's excellent. It has a bar and a restaurant and this cool rooftop. Really social, nice dorms. Those are my favorite types of hostels, are not the crazy party ones.
Yeah.
But the ones that like promote community and like have family dinners and are really social. And having a bar really helps, honestly. Because people just go to the bar and sit by themselves and meet people. Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to leave because you have all the food you have right there.
Yeah.
So there's 2 taco shacks. One is right next to the pier. One is like up the street from the beach. That's where we stayed. And excellent restaurants around it. My mom had actually warned me. My mom grew up in the Philippines, but I told her, I was like, oh no, I only have my like Adidas slides. And she's like, you're going to get skin diseases. Like you're literally going through flooded waters through the city.
My gosh,
And I told the girls I was with and they're like, skin disease. And they just started cackling. And I'm like, you guys, this could be true. Like my mom grew up in a third world country.
Right. Yeah.
And so I was actually really worried, but I didn't have water shoes. I didn't have anything else.
Yeah.
And there was no way to avoid wading through knee-deep water.
Exactly.
We did do, there's only one pub crawl on Koh Tao, so we did that, which ended in a burlesque show. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
The last day the sun came out, we were literally on our way back to the ferry to Koh Samui to fly to the north. So we didn't get to enjoy any of the sunshine. So Koh Tao was kind of a weird experience. Like there was no sun. It was flooding.
Oh, which was versus my experience was just sun.
Yeah, lucky. So I need to get there again.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was our time in the south. Then we head up north to Chiang Mai. And I did 4 nights in Chiang Mai, Brick House Hostel. Also had a bar and restaurant. It's fantastic to stay there. Had the concierge that helped us with all of our tours. Our first tour that we went on, this was fantastic. 1,800 baht, which is $60 US. Okay. We hiked to a waterfall, had an amazing lunch, river rafted down the river, and went to an elephant sanctuary.
Ooh, That's fun.
And this was all day. This was 12 hours, which included transport there and back. It included snacks and some water, and the lunch was a buffet lunch. And that was amazing. It was the time of my life. Kate actually flipped out of the whitewater raft, which is hilarious. Because we didn't videos of that. I don't have the videos. No, unfortunately, didn't have a waterproof camera at that time, but that was luckily because I was a little scared. I'm like, oh my god, I've never seen anyone fall out of a raft before.
Oh my god!
But these guys are professionals, so they grabbed her, put her back. It was hilarious though. I could not stop laughing. That night we were just so exhausted from everything.
Right.
We went to one of the night markets. We got a massage, like an $8 massage. We didn't go out and party that night because we were exhausted. I mean, we hiked to a waterfall, went whitewater rafting, and then played with elephants.
Got flipped up like a pancake.
Yeah. This is literally what it looked like. The next day, we did the cooking class, next day we did Chiang Mai, so that day trip that we mentioned earlier. That night we went out to the jazz club. There's a very famous jazz club in Chiang Mai that everyone goes to. If you guys also, sidebar about Chiang Mai, it's very, very famous for expats, digital nomads, backpackers of all sorts because the weather is perfect. So it's a good springtime weather and it's inexpensive compared to anywhere else in Thailand, even Bangkok.
Yeah.
There's lots of little day trips you can do from around it, and it still has like a really big dose of Thai culture, as opposed to the islands being so catered to tourists now, the islands in the south. So Chiang Mai is actually a really good place to relocate or stay for an extended period of time.
I agree.
And we did Asia Scenic the next day. We went to this cool market on the other side of town, Waro Rot Market. In Chiang Mai, but it's fascinating actually. I have it on my highlights on my Instagram page actually.
On your highlights.
So from Chiang Mai went straight to Pai. And spent about 4 nights there. Pai is just this magical, tiny little hippie town. Tons of great vegetarian and vegan food. Great place to learn to ride a scooter if you've never ridden one around Asia before because it's just open roads, a lot of dirt roads, not a lot of people.
Cool.
You can rent a scooter for 140 baht a day, which is nuts. And stayed at Common Grounds. The staff there is fantastic. Met Jordan, who now owns Nolo Hub. So can't wait. Shout out to you, Jordan. Can't wait to visit Pai again and stay at Nolo Hub. That'd be great. But Common Grounds was perfect. It was right outside the night market, the night food market. Literally steps away. So you go explore that at night. Tons of cool little bars there. Tons of cool cafes where you could just get on your computer, do some work, do some reading.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I took a bus out to Pai, which was maybe like $7 but some people will take a motorbike and ride 792 switchbacks on the road to Pai, and it's about 3-hour ride. So a lot of people will do that. Luckily, people have come out of it unscathed and safe.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that does not sound safe.
On a motorbike.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. Wow. And I loved it. So I met a guy there. I went back to Bangkok with him. I was going to go on to Chiang Rai, but I decided I didn't need to stay in Chiang Rai if I already did a day trip.
True.
So we traveled together for a few days, stayed at a hotel in Bangkok, which was not common. We went back to Bangkok because I was leaving. I had a hard date that I had to be out of.
Right.
I had a flight from Thailand back to LA.
Yeah.
So we had visited everywhere else, both of us combined. So we're like, well, let's just go to Bangkok and have a good time there. And so I stayed in a hotel, which is like not normal for me. And I actually had booked at Mad Monkey Bangkok, which is also another crazy party hostel in Southeast Asia. And I just forfeited. It was too late to cancel, so I forfeited the pricing there. But it was like $12 a night, so it wasn't too bad. The hotel we stayed in wasn't even that great either. And it was like $137 for 2 nights.
Wow. So about like 60.
But it was... Yeah. Okay. But it was behind Khalsan Road again. So close to all the action.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was all right. It was decent. You know, it was like a 2 or 3 star hotel. It's fine. We were safe. Whatever. Yeah. That's what matters.
Yeah. You're alive, you're here, you're talking about your experience.
Yeah. So that was my itinerary, 17 days in Thailand.
Versus my 9 days in Thailand. Very jam-packed. That's, for both of us, but that's just because Thailand just has so many things you want to see. And like I said earlier, we plan to go back.
So let's talk accommodation.
Nice accommodations. It's very overwhelming when we're trying to figure out which hotel, because they had so many.
Yeah.
And I loved it though, because you could find some like $50 or less a night for a really, really nice hotel, which includes breakfast too daily.
Yeah. I feel like Thailand's one of those places where you could you could absolutely show up without a reservation and go like door to door. If anyone has a place space available, someone will have something because it's so much. And it is the backpacker capital of the world because there are so many hostels there.
And so many hotels.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do your hostels include breakfast usually?
Some do. They will disclaim which hostels do. Okay. Whether you're using like Booking, which I love, Hostel World, which I also love. And then all reviews will be like, oh, breakfast comes included. So that's a big difference. Like you can get a $10 hostel that has breakfast or that doesn't have breakfast. But I'd say 98% of the time breakfast in a hostel is, rolls, cereal, toast.
Right.
Very basic, but if you're really on a budget, you'll take anything. You can
bring a Tupperware too.
Oh, I can't even tell you how many times like we've rolled stuff up in a napkin and put it away. That's also the Filipino in me as well.
It's the Asian in me too. I've done that too.
You can get breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, especially if you know you're going to have a long excursion day.
Yeah.
You want some lunch with you or some snacks.
Carbs to keep you going.
Oh, yeah.
A roll will do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll have like some, like apples, oranges, bananas sometimes. Yeah. So
they have the healthy options too.
Yeah.
So in Chiang Mai, we stayed in Sumitaya. And then Koh Samui, we stayed at Hammock Samui. In Koh Tao, we stayed at Simple Life Cliff View Resort. Which is beautiful.
It was so nice. I remember seeing those pics.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. And it's right next to Sari Beach, which is like one of the main beaches that a lot of people like to chill and relax at.
Perfect.
And then in Bangkok, we stayed at, the Postel that I mentioned earlier. It was half hotel, half hostel. And it was called the Printing House Postel.
Do you remember, what was the most expensive? What was the least expensive?
The most expensive would be the Simple Life Cliffy Resort. In Koh Tao, it was about $68 a night. And this is for not the basic room. This is the room that you see the pool and you're close to the cliff view, too. So you have a beautiful view. It's like a honeymoon suite, basically, for $68 a night. It's insane.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I loved it.
Which one was the cheapest one that you stayed at?
It was the Koh Samui one, the Hammock Samui. That was $38 a night.
That's so good.
Yeah. And it included, like, a breakfast buffet.
Yeah. Oh, buffet? Yeah. So hot food?
Hot food. Yep. What about you? Hostel, bounce, bounce.
Mostly hostels. I stayed in 6 places in about 3 weeks. So Nat Park in Bangkok.
Okay.
Slumber Party, Crazy Party Hostel during full moon in Koh Phangan. So that one was the most expensive. It was about $20 US a night.
$20 US
for one bed in like a 12-person dorm.
Gotcha.
So for a hostel, that's very expensive.
Right.
And of course, like no food. After that, we went to Koh Tao, stayed in Taco Shack number 2. Not number 1 by the port. Yeah. Taco Shack number 2 up the hill. That was a beautiful one. They had a great restaurant in there and a really good social vibe. After Koh Tao, went up to the north, Chiang Mai, stayed in Brick House Hostel. And as I mentioned earlier, that's one of my favorite hostels ever because it's massive. And then in Pai, I stayed in Common Grounds Hostel, but I also visited Circus Pai, which is a party hostel, and they had a cool infinity pool. But Common Grounds was beautiful because it was like stone everywhere.
Nice.
So like easy to clean. It cooled the whole place down.
Nice.
Like it just looked very, very nice. After Pai, went back to Bangkok and stayed in Villa Cha Cha, which was like a 2 to 3 star hotel. It wasn't a hostel this time.
Villa Cha Cha.
And I think for 2 nights, it was about 130 US. All these hostels that I had stayed in besides Slumber Party were all literally like less than $12 or less per night.
Nice.
So, it worth it to me.
Yeah.
I told my friends in Australia this. I always pick a party hostel over a non-party hostel if I'm feeling social, which is 95% of the time. And the reason is because if you're in a party hostel, you can get away from the party. If you're in a party hostel, you can kind of retreat to your room. But if you're in a non-party hostel, you have to really search for the party.
Yeah.
You have to leave your property. You have to go find it, right? But if you're in a social hostel or a party hostel, you could retract from it.
Okay.
But it's always going to be there if you want. So
That
I always
makes
try to
sense.
stay in more social hostels, unless, like I said, Nap Park.
Right.
We purposely picked a hostel that promoted napping because we were about to rage for 6 days for full moon. So
Nice.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, accommodation.
Cool. So what was your favorite thing about Thailand?
Favorite thing about Thailand. Favorite thing about Thailand was the fact that everyone, in most places, I especially noticed this on Koh Tao, they made you take your shoes off in every store you went to.
Ah, that's right.
I loved that.
Yeah.
Because growing up, we both grew up in Asian households.
Yeah.
I still take my shoes off when I enter a home, unless I see that everyone else is not, but I usually ask.
Yeah.
And in my home and in my home, I take my shoes off. My parents' house, I still do. So I loved it because they also keep tile flooring in most of the stores because it's very hot and humid in Thailand, right? So the tile keeps the store cool. It keeps your feet cool when your shoes are off. It's very easy to clean because they are always sweeping.
Yep.
I've noticed all the store owners always sweeping. That's one of my favorite things. Also, another favorite thing just about Thai cuisine in general. I felt that it was very easy. I'm pescatarian, by the way. It's not a big deal, but I usually eat vegetarian. I felt like it was pretty easy to find vegetarian and vegan food in Thailand.
Yes, because they're heavy on like the veggies too.
Yes, they
and
are.
their veggies are so fresh.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Super fresh. And there's a lot of stuff that's like pretty native to Thai cuisine, and they fill it with herbs and spices and different things to make it taste delicious so that you don't need animal protein in it. So what did you not like about Thailand, if anything?
I think it's just more of a shock to me of how expensive Koh Samui was. And that's the part I was just like, I feel like they just hustled me for all my money.
And what's an example of how expensive it was compared relative to everything else in Thailand?
So in Chiang Mai, which was where we went first, let's say a pad see ew there was 40 baht, which is a little over $1.
Yep.
Okay. In Koh Samui, we had same thing, pad see ew, 90 baht.
Yeah.
So it was double the price.
Double the price.
Which is just $3. Ooh, but still, it was just like, oh my goodness.
It's expensive for Thailand. Yeah. I totally get it.
For sure.
The only thing I didn't really like, and the two things I'm about to say are pretty much the things I don't like about most of the countries I don't go to, because there's a trend in the type of countries I go to.
Okay.
They're usually a bit on the cheaper side, and they're usually developing countries.
Yeah.
But the mosquitoes, obviously, I was very, like I said earlier, I was shocked. I guess I shouldn't have been, but I was shocked when I started getting mosquito bites that were bleeding when I was doing the elephants. Yeah. Because they were a different kind of jungle mosquito. And I'm like, oh my God, I have no protection. I'm screwed. So obviously didn't like that. That was like painful. And then cash economy. But like I said, most developing countries that I visit, they're all cash economy, so I'm always prepared for that. It's just literally every time I go somewhere, I always ask if I feel like they take card. I always ask first, do you take card? Yeah. Some places will, most places won't, and then if they don't, I always have cash ready. But I always try to pay with my card first. Yeah, always. Right. Even if it's like, I think that's the one thing we're spoiled by here. Like you can go to 7-Eleven, a gas station, and pay $1.19 for a pack of gum on your card. Right. And that's fine. Yeah. But you would never be able to do that in...
Exactly. There'll be like a minimums.
Exactly. Yeah.
Prior to going to Thailand for the first time, what were you expecting?
Well, I guess sometimes I follow the Gringo Trail wherever I go, which is the common backpacker trail.
Right.
And before I went, I was expecting to see a lot of backpackers, and I did, but that's because I placed myself in that situation. Okay. So it was really everything I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Which is good. And I knew, you hear amazing things about it. And that's what I got was an amazing experience. So it was basically everything. It wasn't really disappointing in any way.
Yeah.
But nor did it like overshoot my expectations in any way.
Yeah.
So
Thailand's great. And we like to apologize for the background noise right now. Yeah, we got a new apartment going on in the next building.
And what were you expecting before you went?
I didn't expect to enjoy Bangkok as much as I did. Just because I know Bangkok has been popping for like the past X amount of years and everybody
like literally
knows.
Like 30 years.
Yeah, and everybody goes there and but I was like, okay, it's just going to be crowded, so many people, a lot of the tour buses, getting into my photos and stuff like that. But when I went, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Maybe because it's the Corgi Cafe. I don't know. But Iconium, like I mentioned earlier, was really, really cool. And if I were to go back, I'll go back and try like more different food places that they have in their inside street night market, floating market, whatever it's called. But it was... I really liked it.
I feel like there's so much to do in Bangkok, and then so many day trips you can take from there. Yeah. And little hidden places that you can go from Bangkok. So that's definitely a place I want to do again.
Yeah. And I would probably branch out more. Maybe go to the Chinatown next time I go to
Bangkok. Oh man, that seafood stall. We talk about it forever.
Yeah. Well, I won't be eating the seafood stall. I'll see what the hype is about.
See what the hype is about, yeah, for sure. I think they have some like chicken there also, I think they just meant like, they have all the animal proteins. It was just like, the seafood's really good at this particular place. So,
cool. Awesome.
What would you do differently if you went back?
I would probably kind of do the direction that you went, where you went from the south
to the north,
where it's more the expensive side, and then you go into the cheap side. Because going from the north to the south was so shocking to me in price-wise. And I would go your route instead. And I wouldn't spend a night in Koh Samui. I would probably give it about like a few hours, maybe 5 hours to just go see the Big Buddha, and then just bounce out, take your ferry to Koh Tao or Koh Phangan, whatever nearby island you want to do. That's what I would suggest.
Okay.
That's what I would do differently.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did the south to the north, and it was a relief. It was like a breath of fresh air. So I was like, oh, okay, back to $1.30 pad thai, pad see-ew, instead of this $3, $4 pad see-ew.
Right.
So.
And I just, oh my gosh, I feel so cheap just even saying that.
I know,
but
I know.
Yeah.
It's, but I mean, that's the reality of that country, so.
For sure.
I think if I went back, like I obviously spent a little less than 3 weeks there. To me, that's not a lot of time. To others, that's plenty of time. They're over their vacation by that point. And I would have spent more time on the islands. I would have maybe flexed my schedule a bit more to wait till the sun came out in Koh Tao and stayed a few more days there. Oh, yeah. But that was like, the weather's like an act of God or whatever. Like, you can't help the weather. And I really had a strict 2 days there. Definitely want to go to the western part of like the peninsula, like Koh Phi Phi, Krabi, etc., Phuket. Yeah. Those islands.
You want to see those James Bond islands? Oh, and you have to go to Koh Nang Yuan too.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
What foods did you love and what foods did you not like?
So I did not know about khao soi. Even in my research of Thailand, I think I skipped over like the food part. But when I got there, khao soi was just, it became my favorite food even now. And
explain a little bit about what khao soi is.
Khao soi, they have these egg noodles, which is like my favorite type of noodles, and they had fried egg noodles on top. So you have the cooked, and you have a chicken drumstick in there. Spicy type of curry, I would say. I think it's just the creaminess of the coconut that you could taste, that I wasn't expecting it to just make me fall in love with that dish. And I think just like the blends of those two textures of just having a soupy, creamy feel to it on top of like the egg noodles.
Dang, girl, now I want some khao soi. Like right now.
Yes, I'm saying. And then the crunchiness of the fried egg noodles that's on top. Man, just take me now. Yeah. It was so good.
So yummy.
Yeah, and we went to this place called, in Chiang Mai, it was called Khao Soi Surachai. And it's known to be one of like the best khao soi places out there. And their khao soi was about like $1.50 USD. And spicy, which I love. But for those who don't really like spicy, I think you'll be able to handle it. It was spicy for me because I added a ton of spice to it. Yeah. But it still has the kick to it if you don't add anything into it. But highly recommended.
Did you try any of the bugs, like the scorpion?
No, I'm not that bold. No. Nah, I saw a scorpion, but it just looked alive to me, and I was like,
it looked alive, very fried and very dead.
One thing to keep in mind, because I'm more of a beef person than pork. Thailand is more so pork and chicken, and not a lot of beef, or not even any beef at all that I could even remember. So usually here in the US, when I eat like my pad see ew, sometimes I'll do chicken, sometimes I'll do beef. I was asking them like, can I get a pad see ew with beef? Like, do you guys have beef? And then places would be like, oh, no beef.
Food was a cool deal for me in Thailand. I felt like I was reintroduced to Penang curry, and it became quickly, again, one of my favorite dishes. It's the pink curry. That's what it's commonly known as. And I also made it at Asia Scenic. I was super stoked when they included it on the menu.
You made the Penang one?
I made the Penang green. For sure. Nice. Yep. It was interesting. I actually introduced a lot of people to different foods. Like, I guess being in LA, being in Southern California, like...
Right, where we have multiple cultures.
We're always... My family is so massive on Thai food. We're always going out for Thai food. Yeah. But the people I was traveling with, they had never tried papaya salad, like iced coffee, so like a Vietnamese or Thai iced coffee. Never tried Thai iced tea. Hadn't tried mango sticky rice. Wow. And these are all staples. Yeah. In a Thai dinner, I feel like when we go out for Thai food here. Yep. But like so many of the people I was traveling with had never tried it before. So, visit cool. Thailand Bureau. I'm just waiting for y'all to cut the check.
Yeah. You just popped a lot of people's Thai food cherries.
I know. So it was good. And luckily they loved everything that they had tried. Yeah.
That's
like
great.
they were safe things to try, like things that mostly everyone would like.
Okay, well that's good that I wasn't the only one trying mango sticky rice for the first time in Thailand.
I thought that was odd though. I was like, you're like such a foodie.
Sometimes I'm alright. Sometimes. One favorite place in Thailand.
Pai Night Market.
Ooh.
And Common Grounds Hostel was right out, purposely like 10, no, not even kidding, like 10 meters away from the beginning of it.
Nice.
And so it happens every single night, and I think it's even bigger on certain nights, and it goes down literally one street and it goes down that street.
Wow.
So, and there's little tiny vendors, there's all kinds of things, sushi, Thai food, crepes, and all the cafes that are on it, cafes and bars are also opened.
Oh, cool.
Which is cool. And then they have like all kinds of desserts. It was amazing. It's so fun, and you can go shopping too, like it's for little trinkets and clothing, souvenirs. Yeah. So it's just tons of fun, and like, why wouldn't you want to just eat dinner by like sampling little things? So
that's cool.
One of my favorite places. I think just Pai in general, being able to roam around the countryside on a motorbike, go to hot springs, go to some waterfalls.
Yeah.
So next time I'm in Pai, I definitely want to spend like a month there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So what about you? What was your
Koh Nang Yuan Island. Yeah, I think it was just so serene, so peaceful, easy to get to. Lay on the beach, you snorkel, or you could go on the hike. Like, there's just a small island that you could do a lot in, you know?
That's awesome.
Yep.
So great. So, yeah. Thailand. One of the best countries we've both been to.
Yeah. I'm glad we got to experience it. Come on.
Together.
Yes. Somewhat together.
Somewhat together.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to hear your thoughts on Thailand and how you traveled and how you visited it. So if you want to drop them below or shoot us a note or hit us up on any one of our social media networks. What's your best tip for Thailand, or your favorite place that you've been, or your favorite Thai meal or Thai food? We want to know where you guys have been, what you do again, you know?
Yeah, because we'll definitely be going back, so we'll love to hear from you.
For sure.
Thank you for listening to our audio podcast of Thailand. And remember, we also have a visual podcast on YouTube, and it's the Ticket to Anywhere podcast channel.
Yep. And be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook page, but we're also everywhere you can find and listen to your podcast. So Google, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, Apple, anywhere you can get your podcast, make sure to find us there. And we hope to hear from you guys soon.